Hello and welcome back to a busy Midwest Mainline here at Minneapolis. We haven't been here for a while, have we, at the start? No, it's nice to see the station so busy. Why are we at Minneapolis? I was going to say why not, but there is a reason. We have noise pollution issues, and I'm sure you can guess why. Residents have decided to move in all over the place, which we'll take a look at shortly. However, what are we actually doing today once we've done that? I said towards the end of the previous episode that all we have to do is hook up machines to Bloomington. There's a freight train running behind us. It's super noisy, isn't it? It's busy. I like it. Not distracted. No, not at all. Everything I was about to say is now just drifting out my head. Yep. Good job. I should just pick a blade of grass to stare at the beginning so I remember what to say. Now I'm just staring at the trains. Brilliant. Brilliant, Gran. Brilliant. It's fun. I like it. I like it when it's so busy. Yeah, so we've got a bit of a logistical and engineering nightmare. Or conundrum. I believe that's what I'm titling this. And you'll see why shortly. But first, we have to deal with the noise pollution here in Minneapolis. So what we need to do is bring this up and get cracking. We've passed 500 million. That's lovely. Well, let's bring up the noise pollution layer and just see what's happening. I don't know what you're doing here. It's nice. Look at how spread out the residents are. The residential area is not an area. Well, you've got this bit, but this here, I don't even know. So we're going to pause it and we're going to take a look at what the issue is. If we go over here, this is 79, and we look at the stats for Minneapolis, you'll see poor. Now, we're losing 30% of our total population. I believe it's this figure. Is that 30% of that? So 30% would be 53 residents. What's that, almost a third? Close enough, right? That seems about right. It's not 30% of this figure, but it is affecting our population. We could improve that a little better, and we're going to have to ask people to leave again. All of these, they're far too close to the station. I mean, it's convenient, but if you're going to complain about the noise, which is theoretically what this is telling us, is that all these people that moved in, I just noticed the residents are dropping. Obviously they are, because we're evicting them politely, of course. Look at these. Why? I mean, yes, it does happen, doesn't it? People live above shops and not generally near industrial areas, which is over there. There are some scattered around, which is bizarre. But we'll get rid of these and hopefully it sorts out our noise pollution. You're too close to the station. And then we'll see where they move after then. We're going to take a bit of a hit as we obviously lose people from the town. I don't know where they're going. Maybe they're moving somewhere else. But it has to be done. I'd rather get it out the way since we've got a lot of money. Let's see if that sorts out this figure down here. It'll take a while for them to build back up. It's a bit noisy over there, but okay. We'll check back on it and see if we can get this back down to mediocre. How's the train station doing? Fine. We may need to lengthen the trains. I've had that suggestion before. These ones could... No, that's a signal. Well done on clicking a signal there. That was impressive. Not so much from the Bloomington area yet. However, if we are hooking up the machines into Bloomington today, hopefully, we might only get it partially done. You'll see why soon. But yeah, adding another wagon to these, or a passenger wagon, might be coach. Would that be a better word? Passenger coach might be beneficial, because they're struggling to clear the platforms. I'm saying that, but it's not overly problematic yet. Then again, you don't want to be... Do we? Yeah, look over here. We're we could probably get away with that, couldn't we? Yes, absolutely. Right, we're doing it. We're going to add an extra coach to these. Or if we just go to the Midwest Main Line and manage our trains, we'll use the edit all vehicle tool, and we'll just add a coach on. So we want passenger wagons, and it's these, and we can add them. As long as you click on these, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Just don't do it wrong. There we go. We're now 199 meters long though. I hope we fit on all of the platforms. 8.7 million, can we afford it? Of course we can. We can afford to do anything really. And yes, there we go. They've all got 6 on now. They should still be able to pick up speed. We'll check once they're full. They do indeed fit perfectly, in fact. On the platforms, is that 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. And you're now carrying 114. I'd rather carry slightly more, as long as they're partially filling the 6th coach we added. At most of the stations, I don't mind. So there you go. He's off. We've got a shiny new one on the back. There's the older ones, and there's the brand new one. And there's people in them, obviously. How do you manage the climb now? You should be okay. 98 miles an hour. That should be fine. This is a medium grade up here. And it only gets steep once it gets up to the grain farm. That's that sorted. And we can check back on that. And hopefully that increases the attractiveness of our line, because we've got a bit more of a capacity, haven't we? It's going to have a knock-on effect to our buses and trams, but we can deal with that. Okay, now we've got steelworks underway, which we're not even close to dealing with. If we go over here, these are running perfectly. They're picking up half of their load. I'm still tempted to extend these and increase their capacity, but we're also going to add a 3rd train to them. Now, when do we add that train? We have one here, and we have... Where's the other one? Is that it? Just there? One there. Probably once he gets up close to the coal mine. In fact, that's a good a place as any, isn't it? Just there, because he's got to come down and then get onto the line. Absolutely, let's do it. Manage vehicles. We're going to add another one on, guys. Right, we now have 3 monster trains running that. They're going to get bigger as well, I believe. That's my idea with that. The timing couldn't have been any better for this. I would also like to point out, while we're up here, we are meeting demand, and that is lovely. We did have some issues with that. Let's see what we can see. This is creeping up. It's approximate, and it changes as time progresses, and it also includes before we changed it, because time hasn't progressed that much. But they're now waiting to pick up, which is how I like it. So there we have it. Those double-headed diesels are really doing the job for us. We have an issue. It might be station length, so we're not too bothered. It is this, yes, this station has caused us problems before. Quick pause there. The reason being is you're over the switch, just. The back bogey there is just over the switch. Well, I think it's time to extend this station so that we stop running into this issue. It's unfortunate that's a commercial building. I think it's going to get deleted though. If we add another section here, I'm also tempted to have this do something as well. Could we lower the station? That's a bit too much work, isn't it? Engineering wise. I wanted this to be a bridge or a tunnel, but it's not going to happen, is it? Given how far we are. Or how close we are to that junction there. Got to work with what the city has done for us. Let's get rid of all of this. We'll go from the crossing. We could reroute the crossing, in fact. Closer to down here. That might be better. We'll see how much room we've got. Right, let's modify Hibbing Station. We'll give it another platform so we don't have these, another platform section. We don't have these issues. There we go. We'll leave it without a roof so that we can see we added to it. I like that. We've got the new style or newer style platforms there. Okay, maybe that will be enough room for our trains. We slot into that. I would like high speed. Yes, I would. Is that okay? It's a bit slopey, isn't it? I feel like a better access into the town is a good idea. Yes, we're going to do it. Do it now or you're never going to do it. You're just going to keep saying it. Oh, we've got our Frankenstein creation there. Beautiful. It's not, is it? It's scary. Which means we can take this back a little bit and redo this little bit of track here. Not what I'm supposed to be doing today. I just like it straight, really. Or do you? That's going quite high, isn't it? Ooh, I don't want to lower that station any further. If we go on a fixed grade down, we should be able to still do the junction. And now we don't have to worry about crossing, because I'm really tempted to have the highway go over the top of the rail line here. Yeah, definitely. So if we come in like that and just head down gently, and then we can have the switch somewhere like this if we're not worrying about a crossover or a level crossing. How does that look? Does it look too terrible? It looks perfect. Brilliant. Which means we're going to have to do a bit of track work over here because that is now higher. I almost said higher and then made a Wather joke. Higher. No, don't do it. You've already mentioned it now. You can't avoid it. I'm not saying it. Right, get in here. Yes, one way please. Right, there we go. That should save issues there. We can have blocking signal here and there. Actually, it's a bit pointless. I'll put them a little bit further back anyway. Is it pointless? Possibly. I mean, it's pointless as in we don't want two lots of passenger trains there, but in the future, should we decide to add more services to this part, then we will need them. Right, how do we get into Hibbing then from the highway? It looks like we should maybe branch off here. This section is a little higher and then it heads down. So if we had our main highway, we are going to do freeway still, don't worry, but it's once our network is fixed. So we know where all our trains are running. Once that happens, we can happily add our freeway to avoid it, or dance around it at the very least. So this is going across the top. Hopefully we've gained enough room. Almost. We can have a little... Oh, there we go. Just there. Ooh, do we want that? Stone arches. It does look lovely, doesn't it? I mean, we're a bit high. Can we just gently go down a touch? There. There is kind of beautiful. Get in. I like this. I like that a lot. Right, then we can start heading down. I mean, with roads, you can head down far more aggressively than you do with... it's very high, isn't it? Goodness me, the elevation change there is absolutely monstrous. I mean, we might want to consider going that way then. Yeah, definitely. In fact, we could probably come down even quicker. It's more of a flyover anyway, isn't it? If we head that way then, and keep heading down, there we go. We're running down to ground level now. Our cars are not going to mind this. Then we can take that off, start leveling out, bit of roadworks, and then we're going to connect in up at that small foresty area, get rid of all that. And we're in. This is not what I'm supposed to be doing today. We're in. It's needed. It's needed. There we go. Lovely. We'll smooth all that out just so it doesn't look so obvious what we just did. Beautiful. Just take the edge off it. That's all I want. It's so steep going down there. The Hibbing climb really is a mission, isn't it? There we go. Do I want to paint it? Sure. Do it, Grand. Do it now. Oh, that's a big brush. I don't want the strength up there either. Is that gravel? Grass gravel. Oh, what's that? That looks kind of... No, that's not the gravel I was expecting. Not the gravel I was expecting. Do we have a better gravel? There. What about that one? Oh, yes. You do want the strength up. There we go. That's better. Like that. beautiful. We'll just put that like that. It looks like it's been there since the year dot. I kind of like this now, the little bridge coming into the station. It's beautiful, isn't it? I would just like to do that too. There we go. I've tidied up the land around the station just a little bit, because it would be, wouldn't it? There'd be a lot of excavation and ground leveling when they're building it. Beautiful. After all that, does he fit in? Because that's all that was about. Are you okay now? Are you going to be happy? You look like you're happy. You're full. Goodness me. Oh yes, plenty of room, I think. Have you concertinaed at the back there? No, you haven't. There he goes. Right, we've fixed that. That's not what I was supposed to be doing today. What we're supposed to be doing is hooking up this second logging camp here, which isn't a million miles away from Minneapolis. If I was playing the game, gamey style, where you kind of just do as many direct lines as possible, you'd be tempted to go somewhere like that. You can come in there and bridge across. However, we got the rule about mainline, hitting the mainline, which makes that tricky. Yes, you could do it. Yes, we could come into here, but then we've got some sort of weird junction or flyover to get up to there, where we'd also have to cross into there. I mean, it would be entirely possible to do that and branch that way off there. However, another option is coming into the existing logging line that way, which is sort of my favourite at the moment, and I'll tell you why. If we go back down to this junction, we've got to cross both our quite frequent freight trains and now 2 passenger trains. So I'm thinking if we can, instead of sending the grain trains back this way, if we hook up our logging camp through here, wiggle our way down and connect up to here, we can have a spur or branch that comes across and send our grain train in that way and use this as double track logging. It's an idea, right? We'll be heading this way. Trains heading this way across the junction don't interfere too much. Only here with the 2 freight lines. Trains heading this way, which is our current logging, cross over here, this bit. This would remove our grain train. Or could we get rid of the logging? I just had a brainwave. Could we actually redirect our logging train to head down this way and join in the freight line down here? Because we've got this section. The ones from here, since we're up to speed with those, we could even increase the size of them to manage that. It wouldn't really affect our income. We've got a plan for the future. First, though, we've got to hook up this and figure out how we're doing it. And our grain line might indeed come across here. Yes, we'll have a bridge, but this section of the river isn't too wide at all. And if we can get a bit of height on this, let's rework this road. This is it, guys. We're doing it. We're going for it. You're going to kind of follow. I don't like that bridge anyway. We're going to redo it. I do like it. Oh, deleted a tree. No, and another one. Brilliant. I don't know what that is. That was a huge ramp, wasn't it? This looks like industry access anyway. Don't have to worry about it too much. Right, where are we going? From here, I'd say, if we connect up to somewhere like that, we're going to need the biggest station possible. So let's get us a freight station. We're not having any of that. No, we'll keep with standard for now. 320, we only want 1 platform. This is our new logging facility that we're going to be firing up. Why are we doing this? Because we're not going to have enough finished product from this sawmill for both the toolworks and the machines factory. It will be running quite thin on both, which would affect it would affect Minneapolis, which is already having issues with noise pollution. That is why I would like to connect both of these logging camps up. Are they forests? Well, I mean, they are logging, aren't they? At the moment, what's it look like? Oh, they never change, do they? Because these run at a constant rate. They should look the same. They don't actually upgrade. And now we have to head down, or not down. We can just hug this and then gradually head down. Now, what sort of... That's very high, isn't it? Goodness me. Maybe we don't want to be up that high. That's ridiculous. Don't like that. Don't like that at all. Let's bring up the contour lines just so we can get an idea of why that's so high. That is 28 meters. Oh yeah, that's a lot of meters. Oh, I see. There's like a little ridge. So as long as we have the station building at about the 16 meter mark, we might be able to do something pretty with that. Right, we're going here instead. I'd rather cut in there. So somewhere like that. Beautiful. Oh, someone in the comments asked about if we go to configure this and we go to the MISC tab, there are these side entrances. They are indeed for passenger and cargo. You can add these and you can add a little road to them if you didn't want a ginormous building. You see, it's is it a cheaper option? I don't know. Yes, quite a bit. So there's a cheap option. Yeah, we've got... Really? Hang on, which ones? Well, it's not those. We probably do have a lot of vehicles in poor condition. We don't mind. Well, the residents mind, we don't mind. Okay, this is the access road, which is going to head up to here. But I would like this to actually continue off flat. And then we have our access road come off here where we know it's flat. And then it can hook in down here and make a little bit of a T-junction. Is it too steep? Not for an access road, is it? We could bring it off that way. There we go. Through the trees. I like it. This one, we can sort of head out and go over the station. I would like that. If we can. Which we can. Ooh, isn't that beautiful? I like that. Get in. That is absolutely wonderful. I'll leave it there though, as we're still going to bring our grain train. I think this is an idea for us later on. And then we've got to do some bridge work there. We are making preparations to beautify the map somewhat, because when you guys get to play it, if you're not playing it already, I would like you to have a beautiful map to mess around with and maybe just look at the trains going by. Alright, we're heading up this way. This plastics factory will get connected and it's going to be part of this junction that we're doing here. The question is the road crossing going to mess up how it looks? It doesn't look like it's going to affect it too much at all, does it? Yes. Put it straight. We'll redo that. Now, can we get in here? This is where we need to connect up to. I notice we've got some high-speed track. Vehicle 20, what vehicles are you? Our trucks. Really, our Studebakers. We're in 1964. They don't last very long, do they? Quite surprised about that. We will have to do something with that. Get rid of that and that. So let's make us a junction here. We're going to have a double junction there because we could possibly send trains back. Now at the moment, this is just depot access, isn't it? We could maybe increase that. It will be slow. But this is an idea. I like that. And we could branch our grain train off down here and wiggle off. Now the reason is this junction is getting quite busy at this point here. This is going to have to be how this goes. I don't think it'll be too bad though. We can redo that. I don't like this bit here. Not that we use it, but it looks silly, doesn't it? We could tidy this up, no end. Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. Get rid of that. Now we know that bit's flat. Let's get us a country road. We should be able to just go across from here. And if we keep that flat, surely that's going to be lovely. Here we go. That bit flat, that bit flat. Oh yes, that's beautiful. And we could even tidy this up a little bit. Like there's some excavation been going on. Do we like that? Is that a little bit better? Then we can head up to there. It's only freight access, but our roads are... or industry access. Our roads are starting to come together and be connected back up. So this one needs to go that way. And then we've got like a little branchy bit going off there. How does that look? Much nicer. That's not what you're doing today. I'm getting carried away with detailing. We are actually going to have some signal work here, protecting this junction one way. And we're going to shift this one up a bit and get rid of that one and that one. That one can now be just before the crossing. Just there. There'll be a short one up here too. We don't want that one and that one. We're reworking it all, guys. I'm just leaving this as high speed. Why not? Eventually it's going to be high speed anyway. We are going to be doing that. There'll be a signal there. And then our blocking up here. Oh, that's actually worked out quite beautiful. There and there. Now, this way. We're going to have to rework these, aren't we? I'm actually going to change that signal. Is going to move back to here. Because we don't want to sit on the junctions. This is going to be quite slow going around there. We have a stray signal, which is broken, but is also not needed. There we go. We'll get rid of that. Because that would... that makes no sense. I must have left that in from our previous network. Okay. We are connected. We are connected up here with our logging train. How does it get back? The same way it came, I think. Yes, absolutely. So we're going to need it double tracked. Probably not up here. We can do it a little bit further down. Now, is this straight? Because we could start thinking about our grain train, couldn't we? If so, we can have this here, branch that off that way, keep it straight. Is that straight? Not really. So this section of track needs to be straight. Otherwise, well, it doesn't need to be straight, but it would be an ugly junction, shall we call it? If we have a little straight section... Oh, yes, it drops down. A little straight section there. And there. And here. I would like it maximum speed, if possible. From there. There we go. How's that? That is better. I don't know whether it's going to go both ways just yet, so we'll put the junction work in. And then we'll deal with it later. Now we're going to need enough room here for trains to wait should we need them queuing. At the same time, do we have enough room in the back to extend? Yes, we can extend via the back. So we can bring this up quite close. 50, I mean, 50 will do, wouldn't it? You're coming into the platform, it doesn't matter. Get in there. Let's signal this one up as well. One there. We're going to need one at this junction. We'll do the signal work now, even though it's not finished. This section of track, however, is going to continue up that way. This is... Oh, yeah, you almost missed it. Ooh, what's down here? There's a little fox. Are you eating? Are you sniffing around? Distracted. Oh, there's a bear. A bear as well. Look at him. Heading off into the woods there. I was actually beginning to wonder about the wildlife on this map. I didn't know there were any, but there are. I'm happy now. I like that we go through the trees here. That's rather pleasant. Am I on the right side here? I really hope. Yes. that would have been embarrassing by the time we got up there. Right. Okay. We're good. Blocking here and here will do. I don't know what we're doing with this just yet. I want to give us some access onto the main line on this side of the river for some serious freight maneuvers. One there. Didn't take too long, did it? I like that. Well, we'll have one here. And one there. There's our trio of signals blocking that junction. Bit of a gap there. Could probably add one more. If not, for actual blocking for junction flow. There we go. I like it. There is the potential now for us to run the grain train that way. One direction. It would probably be this way, wouldn't it? Because heading on to the junction from here, as he's demonstrating, he doesn't cross over opposing lines, does he? So he's going to just stay on this side. Yes, he still has to wait, and trains will have to wait that way. But it's a little better than crossing like that, which holds up both passenger trains and freight train. So I kind of like that idea about not using this section and in fact heading out that way. We'll possibly lose a field. Maybe. Or a couple of fields, these two. I mean, we could detail more fields in. So it's not a big deal. They don't affect the output of the farm if you delete the fields. They're expensive to delete if you're just starting out. Okay, so we have that now. I'm all sorts happy about that. And I feel this logging train could also do this maneuver. Like dive off the junction here. Yeah, the more I look at that, the more I like the idea of having this be like a... would it? Yes. you come on, you just had the idea. You might as well go through with it. Let's do it. This is what we're doing. You'll see our highway heads that way. But that's not really the main highway. It goes that way towards Minneapolis there. Although I wouldn't mind that being another... No, you've got the freeway. Think about the freeway. That's coming up soon. Right, yeah, don't do that. There's a freeway coming. This is going to go here. Ooh, you're only going one way, aren't you? You're only heading this way back, so you're not crossing. Oh, this is such a good idea. This is such a good idea that you came up with. That sounds terrible. Oh, what am I like, guys? What am I like? Like, you come up with an idea yourself and then call it fantastic. That's not how that works. Well, I think it's a good idea anyway. This is not a main road, so we're not worried yet. We're probably going to have that as freeway. So we need to get up to here. We're also going to have another freight line, aren't we? Connecting in. We're only connecting in one way. The only train now that's actually coming up this way is this one. Both of the logging trains are going to come round a diversion. No, he's heading both ways. Ooh, is this going to get interesting? He's going to be heading both ways very shortly. He's going to be heading down and then back up. But he can use the same platform if he wishes. I think we're going to have to extend this station. Right. Because we've got... This one's going to do a return journey. So I'd like it to go on one side and the other in the middle. Then we're going to have another platform on the outer side. Oh, yeah. This here, I'm going to guess, is while we're editing this, we should pause it. While we are editing this, it does some funky stuff with the train. So we can ignore it for now and hopefully try and fix it once we've completed this. So now we need to rework this junction. It's not quite going to be like this, is it? You're going that way and then this way. And the same, our trains are going to be coming this way out. How do we work that? Oh, good night. Is it that one? Or is it a different one? No, you're fixed now. Okay, now we've come out of configure mode. We do need to think about getting this train back on. I don't think... We're not connecting it up today, guys. We can get the logging train running, though. That, I believe, we can do. We've only got to hook into here. Only, he says. There we go, like that. That's all you need to do. Because you can go back that way because we've got that fancy flyover. 50. Done. Yes, and we can have, for now, we'll have a couple of signals. One here, two-way for this one. This one, however, is one-way. You're heading that way back. This one will have to be two-way for now because we're not... Oh, we will be rerouting it. We might be able to change it to two-way. One-way. It is two-way. Right, now we've got to get back down this way. And we've got a bit of junction work to do. We've got to head down. As long as we head down at a fixed angle, we can have pretty junctions. Like that. Stop. Is it that train? Train 3. Yeah. We'll ignore him for now. As long as we're heading down here immediately and at a fixed grade, it should make our junction work look okay even on a grade. We're going to have to do something similar here. Oh, that's steep, isn't it? You are super steep. We're going to have to head up there as well. Goodness me. Well, we're going to have to put that on a fixed grade because we have only one connection. We're not actually going to be crossing over. We're going to be going in like that. And it does make a pretty junction. I mean, you are slowing down a bit, though. Well, it's not too bad, is it? Not too bad. Eventually, we might run it by the side. I've not decided yet. I've not decided. Like, we might not even go in here. It depends how busy it gets, but we could have a special branch line for it. Now, can we come in here, and will it look okay? There is a place somewhere. Surely you can get up there. There we go. Oh, technically, you want to use that one. If I made a boo-boo up here. Sort of. Not really. No, you haven't. Or have you? No, you haven't. I know why. We can sort this by doing something like that. There we go. That will work for now. I just want to get this hooked up. And this one, we can go a little bit out like that and bring this back in like so. There we go. Yeah, we've messed your signal up. It's fine, it's fine. These are both going to be one way. That way. There we go. There we go. We're coming down here. We've got no blocking whatsoever at the moment. So one there. One there. You're not going the other way, so we don't need to worry about that. You've got the signals there already. We're definitely going to need some sort of clearing signals here, aren't we? One there. One there. This is an interesting twist to our network. I'd like these short because it's a bit of a hill climb. And that should space them out nicely. Now one there. One there. Is that how we're going to do? We may need to rework this and refinagle it. But so far it looks okay. We might actually need to cross over here. Like this. Which doesn't make much sense. We could move this train over. Yeah, we'll figure that out in a bit. Oh no, you can do it now, can't you? I've got it, guys. I've got it. Right. So this train is now going to do these two platforms. So it's okay where it is. We don't need a crossover there then. These two are now going to be the logging trains. Separate. So we've got the shuttle lines. Which means that one would be one way. We won't need the diamond any longer. Because this is then going to head back. Which we can do already, right? Yeah, we could hook this up right now. Let's do it and then we'll end it with a new layout. Do not delete it. I almost deleted it. Right. Manage vehicle. No. You want to manage the line. You're actually going to go from the sawmill to the sidings. Not a new line. Not yet. Not yet. You got ahead of yourself there, Grand. I'm like, yes, new line. Let's do it. Let's manage this line and add a station. So after the sidings, we're coming back to the sawmill and then to lower Minneapolis, which should give us our crossover. It's a little bit unfortunate we're crossing over like that. However, I think once we're at capacity, it's not going to be too much of an issue. And this has to be done. You've chosen to do it this way round, which I love you for. The problem is you're going to have to flip around. For now, we do want you waiting until full, I would say, on both directions. We're now going to redo the logging line. Now, let's see if my plan comes together. Let's hope so. We want you going that way. So, on the return journey, if we just change the platform, would that do it at the sawmill? And put you on 3? Guys, look, we've taken a train, one train off this junction here. Isn't that beautiful? And you're heading down here instead, which is keeping you away from most traffic, and then heading up this little spur here, or branch line, onto the sawmill, and you head straight through. We're in a good place. Now we can do the new line. New line, which is going to be from our brand new logging camp facility thing over there into here. You're going to do what the old logging train was doing. For the moment, we're going to have this brown as well. Why not? That won't get confusing, surely. Right, so you're heading on to 4, and he's doing the same thing, which means we're not overloading that junction any further than it already is. You're going to be waiting till full there. And what I would like to do, I like this consist here. this consist? What I'd like to do is manage this vehicle, duplicate it, but then we'll select this vehicle and we'll put it on the one we haven't named yet. Line 1. Who's got problem? Oh, right. Yeah, we're going to have to figure him out. We'll flip him. You're welcome. Okay, so that's going. We have a new train on here. Guys, we're in. We're going to need, obviously, more trains on there. It's going to do a little loop-de-loop. But that's okay. I would say we've got a winner, and we're going to come back and check on the progress of that. We're going to have to add another train, which we will do. I am pleased with that. We are now not pleased with that. Ignore that for now. Okay, what were those trucks that are old? These managed vehicles. You're right, though. These vehicles do need to be maintained better because they go into the city. We'll put all those on very high. These two, because they're heading into the city, and I let them get a little bit worn out, didn't I? So let's do that. Let's change all of these as well to very high and get them up to spanky new. Spanky new? Is that a sentence? Is that a phrase? No, it's not really, is it? Brand spanking new condition. Something like that. Anyway, we've reworked our junction. So I would like to go and sit and see that in action and see if this junction... We'll deal with that next week as well. Stop telling me my trains and vehicles are rubbish, game. They're not. They're lovely. Alright, let's see if this new junction layout handles all the new traffic we're throwing at it. We've still got another logging train to add on there. We've still got to reroute the grain farm. But yeah, let's get the mouse off the screen. We can see Hibbing on the hill over there. Not the name of it, it's just Hibbing. But it does sound like it's called... I really want to rename that to Hibbing on the hill. But yes, that's a lot of new throughput for our freight, isn't it? We've now got some delivery of planks to the machines factory. I guess we're going to have to do the machines at the weekend. Yeah, and we'll also update you on the voting. I'm looking forward to that. I haven't looked yet because I'm recording this before the vote actually goes out. But yes. Lots to do when we come back at the weekend. I'm looking forward to it. And then we'll finally get machines to Bloomington down in the south of our map. And until then, take care.